we are. Welcome again to another episode of Epicenter, where we have in-depth conversations with business leaders and industry shapers who are basically defining today's digital economy. Galit, welcome to Epicenter.
Thank you. Very nice to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here because we're going to talk about some really cool things like AI and prompting the prompt. But this is also something very special because this is episode 42.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
42.
And 42 is very famously referenced in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's right. And how cool is it? Because basically this episode, or 42, is the purpose is to reveal and answer the ultimate question in life, the universe, and of course, everything. That's why we're here. And of course, with Galit Galperin, who is an AI product advisor with over 20 years of experience in building products, leading teams, UX teams. You specialize in integrating AI technology into corporate ecosystems. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Galit, tell us about yourself. Come on.
Okay, so indeed, I'm coming from a product management background. In the past, I think 8 years, I've been dealing with conversational AI products, mainly how to build products or how to speak to technology in a way that will allow us to enhance ourselves. And in the past 2 years, I've been working with a lot of global companies in order to adopt AI either in their product as a product feature or in the process in terms of the workforce. What does it mean? How employees can use this inside their workflows? How a new organization that is actually adopting AI looks, and what it means for leadership teams.
So, considering that you work with many corporates and people, what is the number one mistake that people are doing right now?
Actually, it's a very innocent one.
Yes.
But because basically up until today, we were used to talk to, Google mostly, or to search in Google.
Search in Google.
Or to speak with one another. So our conversations, even if they are, via technology, like WhatsApp, like Telegram, we still converse with ourselves. And this is exactly the mental model that we usually take when we are approaching LLMs, large language models like ChatGPT.
Yes.
So it's either we are trying to speak in the natural language that we use with people, or we are trying to search it like we are searching Google. But this is not Google, and this is not a human-to-human conversation. So that might lead to, some errors, some mistakes, some things that LLMs are doing. So if you don't really understand how the machine works behind the scenes, so you might fall into this kind of a rabbit hole. And this is actually very, it's very logical. But this is, I think, a very common thing to see when you're starting to just, use the tool.
So when you're using AI and search, obviously the intended use is different. Is it correct?
Yes. Basically, it's a very interesting question because just now we started to use AI for search formally, right? So OpenAI declared that they are going into search, and we have tools like Perplexity AI, which are calling themselves the answer machine, which is very interesting angle. But basically before that, search was not even part of it. So it was not even connected to the internet, and people were mistakenly searching something that is actually a closed database. Like you have the training data, it's closed. It's not going out to the internet. Of course, today it's already there, but people, I think a year ago, would not even know. So actually you are losing the real-time thing there, and obviously you're getting a wrong answer. So now these days, if you are searching AI, So the result mechanism, the algorithm is not even working the same. So basically, an LLM is something that is a statistical model. It searches for the next best word. And Google
puts it like into this matrix, right?
Yeah, you have statistics. What's the probability of the word coming after your question plus. In large language models, if you are asking a very short question, okay, like what is an R&R, you are failing the machine. It's not like Google. Again, the less words, the worst outcome. So it's actually not that good to search an AI like you're searching Google.
So this brings us to actually the interesting topic of the day, right? Because when we talk about searching, we say, oh, well, what are you searching for, right? But even our language has already changed as we are talking about how we are using ChatGPT and other types of AI tools. And we start talking about the prompt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this word has been around for a super long time, but all of a sudden it's like probably the most important word in the vernacular when you're talking about AI.
Yeah, this is important.
So why is prompting so important?
So basically, prompting is the way to speak the language machine. Okay, so basically,
like a machine language?
It's a machine language in that sense. So prompting would work with all the large language models. For some it will vary. Okay, for some it will work better, worse. Some have, specific rules. But mostly, if you will learn how to prompt, like in a general sense, you will get better results. And by better results, I mean you will be able to direct the brain or the model towards what you are searching, basically, or what is the domain or the knowledge that you are after. This is one. Second, you will probably mitigate hallucinations when the machine invents things, which we all want to avoid, because this is something that, as humans, we are not familiar with, okay? Because we trust automatically. You trust Google, you trust Amazon when you search it, you trust Shopify when you search it. You have the trust. People are carrying this trust along to large language model, not even familiar with the term hallucinations. So this is lying to us, basically, if we are not speaking this language.
And it's like Google search drunk. Kind of.
Yeah, but it's not like always.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Yeah. So if I know that someone is drunk, then okay, I know you're drunk. But sometimes you're drunk, sometimes you're not.
Yeah, this is true.
This is very hard to work with if we are talking about work. So this is something we want to reduce. And as NVIDIA CEO said, this is probably going to be, let's say, the programming language of the future. Or if I would say that large language models will be our OS, then this will be probably the programming for us to leverage this and also to build. Because this also allows us, this is democratizing technology in a way that if I know how to operate this very good and understand how this brain works, then I can leverage it more for my usage and also my profession. I can do a lot more.
Do we have to unskill what we know in searching and then upskill what we need to know in AI prompting and like what makes for an effective prompt versus, an ineffective prompt per se?
So the first part is very interesting. I don't think we need to unlearn because we will still have, let's say, AI tools or search that we will be able to use just like we're using technology today. But you need to upskill definitely because I think the more you will be able to adapt to it, the more options you will get. Because usually we have blind spots. So we don't know what the model is capable of if we don't try. And a lot of times people are speaking to it like it's human, like you have another little robot that is actually yours or human. But that's actually interfering because this is a statistical model. So again, this is knowledge, and then this is an adaptation of a language that usually, again, Microsoft, for example, they did a research. They said it's between 12 to 14 weeks in order for you to, to just speak it like very naturally and not, having your book of prompts, which this is usually what people are doing. Or when I'm working with a group, I'm providing them, the prompts that they can use just for them to get the value, right? So to see what's in it for me, or how can I leverage this within my role. And only after a few weeks, once you are starting to put your, let's say, expertise in life and knowledge, then you can start and embed it. And this is basically upskilling towards the let's say, the future skill.
So that's the direction that we want to start moving in, is acquiring that skill that is required for us to actually know how to talk to these language models. How to talk in a sense of, it's like this computer language. It's like coding, but
it's like coding, but using our words. Now,
Yes.
I do believe that this technology, first of all, we need to understand it's very, very young, right? We are a year and a half with these tools. It's very young, but it's also progressing very, very fast. So I think, again, most eventually, this will understand our, let's say, natural intents or natural language in that sense. But if you are working in tech, definitely, you should upskill yourself to know how to make with this language, because you can make. You don't need to be a programmer in order to program. You don't need to be a photographer in order to make movies or photos.
So maybe a side question, because this is a bit on my mind. There's prompting and there's prompting techniques, and I've heard people say zero-shot prompting and few-shot prompting. I'm thinking, is this basketball or what is this? Can you explain the difference and why does it matter, and does it impact hallucinations or what?
Yeah. So first of all, that's let's say zero-shot prompting. Okay,
Yes.
we do have a few techniques. It really depends on the let's say the platform, but in general, okay, zero-shot means basically what we are all doing. So I'm writing a task. Okay,
Yes.
I want you to translate something from let's say English to Chinese. That's the prompt. That's basically without any example, without anything. The machine doesn't know who I am. I'm not giving any examples. This is just directly, just like I would ask you, can you translate
What is
something?
the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the few shot, this is the more advanced and more interesting, because this is basically like training the machine, but in a small sense. So if I would ask for something, and I will give an example, okay?
Please.
If I would ask, let's say I want to build, marketing collateral, right? So I want it to be a blog post, and then I want it to be a LinkedIn post. And for both, I will probably need my SEO. I will have like my brand and flavor. So if I will just ask, write me a LinkedIn post about my podcast with Ronen, it will just write something.
Yes.
Statistically, maybe I will like it, maybe I will not, and then I will try to edit it by wording, which is, by the way, a very tedious task that most of the people are stuck in.
Yeah.
Because instead of, editing, you're trying to basically say, oh, make it more serious, make it more shorter or something like this. But if from the first place, I will give an example of previous posts or of my brand language or anything that's, is very structured. And I will basically guardrail the model to do it like I want it to do. So I will basically get directly what I wanted. So the first thing is to shorten the time, because again, we are using these models in the context of work for shorten the job to be done. The second thing is that this is also a very good way to mitigate hallucinations, because the longer your conversation, let's say the more probability that you will get a model to hallucinate. The model starts to hallucinate when the context gets very big and it starts to lose the context.
So when you're too broad?
It's either too broad or very, very long conversation. So it's not like a human, that you can sit and speak with for 3 hours. The model will lose the context. It will not know everything that you discussed with. It will start to hallucinate. Sometimes as people, we don't even realize that we are inside an hallucination. That's, by the way, why we all need AI literacy in that sense. Because you are trusting it. You are feeling to it, but you don't know that it's actually lying to you now if you are not in the know. Like if this is not something that I'm very much familiar with from my profession or experience in life. So that's the difference. Now, we also have a few more, like very, or let's say more complex, okay, like a chain of thoughts, which this is more like mimicking a thought process between humans. So I would probably break it down to a lot of steps to make sure the model understands, and only then I will give it another task and another task. But again, I think that between the zero shot and the few shot, most of the people can find themselves and just, to start the prompt properly and then to progress. I like to always say that when you're using AI, you need to start with the end in mind. So if you know why you came, then you need to probably direct the model with your prompt to what you want, to the outcome that you're after, and not leave it open.
And how important is it to provide data and context when you are doing these prompts, right? Because a lot of times, like, you can ask questions and you don't know where the data is coming from, right? You need to bring data into these LLMs or create your own GPTs, right? So that you can now improve the way that you are interacting with AI?
Yeah. So first of all, like, I want to distinguish between data that is like your data? Your data. Like, I mean, proprietary data, enterprise data, even if this is, let's say, my own, book. I wrote a book, I want to put my book, okay? So I'm splitting between this kind of data and understanding where the data that you are actually receiving coming from. So I will start first from the enterprise data, because first of all, if I'm a marketer, okay, or sales, and I want to do some, let's say, market research or whatever, I want to investigate some ICP. If I will just prompt it like this, like the name of my competitor, and I will ask questions, I will get something which is very, very broad, maybe even casual, and it will definitely not be something that I'm looking for, because people tend to come with like the idea that the model already knows who they are, which is not the case. That it knows what they mean, which is also not the case, because they are speaking like it's a human. So data for me is a must. Again, when you are in an enterprise and you have the enterprise tool, then it's a bit different. But if now I'm using this for benchmarking, for research perspective, even to prompt my brain. So if I want to do like maybe a sales call, and I want this to prep me, and I want to have my competitor, I definitely need to say, what is the role that I'm filling? What do I know? What do I know about my customer? Maybe specific data that already, that I was already prompting this prospect with. Whatever I did. So I'm again getting the model to really understand who is speaking now, and what are the goals, and what I'm interested in. So maybe it's a very specific feature that I'm at. So the more you will be, again, very, very dedicated, the better. Now, if this is my proprietary data as an enterprise, this is something else, because definitely, and again, according to compliance and legal and everything, definitely this would guardrail the model to keep using the knowledge base that I'm putting, especially if this is a GPT, okay? A custom GPT is a GPT that you can actually build, and you want it to speak with your knowledge base sometimes, and sometimes even not to fetch any other external data. So this is a bit different. There are a lot of tools and a lot of companies that are actually using this mechanism, or actually building a mechanism that is basically, it's leaning on RAG. This is retrieval augmented generation, which means that we are actually taking data, splitting it in a way that an LLM can eat it and fetch it for us. So unstructured data becomes something that we can converse with, and that's a very good solution a lot of times for enterprises. So that's like this part of the of how to put data. Now, the other part is that if you don't have data that is like digestible, AI will not help you. So that's, for me, a prerequisite.
So what is digestible data?
So it needs to be structured, right? It really depends on your goal, but you need to structure. So if you think that you can just, put data that is, for example, like a presentation with a lot of links inside and images, and it will be hard for this, let's say, AI to fetch it. You need to structure it. You need data analysis to prepare everything in order for an AI to crawl and to give you the best result. It's not like searching your Gmail, for example.
Right. Wow, this sounds pretty challenging. I mean, and if we talk about basically in business today, leaders are facing this daunting task. They're under pressure to adopt AI technology, and there's challenges that they're facing, from what tool do I use, to how do I organize my data, to how do I train my people. So there's so many challenges.
Yeah. So today leaders are having a lot of challenges, because it's not only that they need to lead the organization or the team or the division towards what we call an AI future.
Yeah.
First of all, it's education, okay? It's the AI literacy that they need to take care of. Second of all, it's another big topic on their heads. Third, there are a lot of different tools, use cases, also FOMO, okay? Let's say the word.
Yeah.
Because you keep hearing, especially if you are, let's say, you are a sales professional or a marketeer. So you already have like hundreds. So what to do? Now, a lot of times the situation is different. So your employees are working with a tool that you did not, let's say, approve, and you don't really know. And then you have like an IP problem. So from one side, it's like how to get something inside the corporation that will bring us the value that we are after from one side, that will enhance our people from the other. And maybe this is even, to replace some of the functions, so we can take these people to make things that are like more relevant for them in terms of, more engaging, things that you need to, to use your brain more. So that's a lot of pressure. And what I've actually noticed from working and training a lot of these companies is that a lot of times they are like stuck in the middle, because while their employees are being trained, they have the pressure, to start to show ROI from using AI, to start to be like very productive, maybe to change the structure, maybe, to do like a go-to-market offering that is including AI. So it's a lot, and not all the time they actually know how to use it for themselves.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
in terms of, they don't know, but they're using
dinosaurs
it.
like me. I mean, how do we learn AI, right? I mean, it's critical that we're also up to speed so that we can talk with our teams about AI and prompting and outcomes. And
it's not just talk. For me, it's to lead it. It's to drive, to be the drive to change. Because people are either like have the fear that it will take their jobs, which is not the case with AI now.
No.
Or they are with the fear that their boss would think that they are lazy because they are using AI, which is also not the case. So first of all, it's to find in the middle the balance. And second, I think the leaders today have a unique opportunity in time. I'm trying to remember when it was like the last time for an opportunity like this, and the internet is only like the only answer that I can think of, right? This is a very big opportunity.
Maybe when Office came out, Excel.
For me, it's the internet.
Yeah, no, you can't do your work with Excel. You still have to use the calculator.
Yeah. So you can do your work, but you will be very slow, right?
And
your people will be less, let's say, engaged because everyone are already using it, and your business will actually not perform as other businesses that incorporated AI already in their product or workflow. So for me, for leaders, I think that leaders must be the first to do this AI literacy and upskilling. But I think that if leaders will learn how to use AI as a thought partner, as something to think strategically with, this is where the magic. Like, of course, you have this, like this, and write me this presentation. But I think for leaders, the strategic part, the ability to iterate with AI on what's going on things like, if you have like a board meeting and you want to prepare yourself, if you have like a very important call with a client and you want to be able to think through what would be the case by fitting it, the history, the data, the things So basically, it's like your little helper, but a very smart one, because you are actually doing this conversation of thoughts and you are keeping it also inside its memory. I don't remember an opportunity like this for a leader, and leaders have a lot of challenges and a lot of a lot of things to do. So this is an amazing opportunity, not just in the sense of how to write a better email, but how to take it to the higher level of ideation.
Yeah. Just a thought, right? Do you think companies and leaders should mandate the use of AI? For example, if you are not using AI for, let's say, X percent, 30% of your job or 40% of your job, you are going to be replaced. Do you think companies should go as drastic as that, or?
No, I think this is a process. We are in the start of this process. So if last year was the year of experimenting, this year will be the year of proving the ROI. And in that sense, you will start to see, and I think you will start to see it in the teams. So if I'm a manager, I will want my people to use AI because we want to be better, not because I want to force it on you. There are people who will find it more difficult to adapt. But I think people, as professionals, need to understand that this is coming. So basically, if tomorrow I will be interviewed for any role, I will need to know AI. In 6 months, 9 months, this will be part of my performance review.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I use AI for? Now, it's not just prompting. Maybe I'm using, some tools, but I'm doing my work differently. That will affect each and every part in the organization. No question.
Well, adoption is critical, right?
Adoption is critical, yeah.
And a lot of times you have starts on things, but you don't have the follow-through or the continues. Right. I think that I remember some data point about ChatGPT, for example, that probably close to 300 million people have downloaded ChatGPT, but their retention or the stickiness is quite low. How do you make sure that things like this get the right adoption? Because you can start something, but like you said, if it's not part of a annual review process or an interview question in a job application, right? How do you make sure these things stick and that there's follow through on it?
So I keep saying to managers that I'm working with, So we have a couple of ways to do this, right? So first of all, we don't want to force anyone, and this is why we need to show the value. So when I'm, for example, coming to an enterprise and I need now to train people or let's say a specific group, okay, now I'm training the sales. This training will be very different. This is why I call it role-based. So it will be very different. I will not be interested to show them how, I'm doing things that are not relevant for them. I want to take their pains and to show them exactly in the workflow, where does this fit? So because an LLM, I treat it as a personal tool. So if me and you will go to Google and we will put the same search query in Google, we will get the same answer, basically. Of course, it will vary. If I'm in London and you are in Thailand, then it will probably vary a bit because of the SEO. But let's assume if we are sitting now here, it will probably give us the same result. But an LLM would give us different result. And even for you, if you would put the same prompt, it will give a different result each time because this is generative. This is exactly what it means. So because it's a personal thing and because it leans on language, this is basically means that each and every person will adopt it differently. So you cannot put some bar to say, okay, me and you would use it the same. And this is why also that's leaning very much on our role, on the company that we are at, whether we are global or not, and a lot of different variables that are actually dependent on this. I believe that each and every person, and I already did it myself for thousands of people around the world, when you're showing them the value, the real value, and it's not like, oh, I heard about something like ChatGPT, I will ask it something without the proper prompting, without, and it fails you, then you will not go back. This is one thing. The second thing that I believe that all these companies are starting to improve the product. And again, we need to remember these are startups.
Right.
It's a product with 1-year-old market that, although, this is a product fit that no one saw before because it took 5 days for ChatGPT to reach 1 million users. Okay. So that's as a product, I'm looking at it, that's like overwhelming. Yeah. So they are now putting things like the voice mode, okay, for everyone to be able to interact in a more natural way. They are allowing features like Canvas, which let's write it together with AI. So they are taking it more towards let's say, the convenient experience and the UX of language that will allow us to adopt it better. But I do see this as a responsibility for organizations to educate each and every employer in terms of this role and not let them just experiment without a responsibility, because you need to know how this fits you and how to talk to this in a way that you will actually not waste more time, but get it to the higher level in terms of the outcome.
So when you prompt, there's actually there's a framework that you talk about, right? About how you need to address first, who am I, right? And then what is my problem statement? And then, what is this framework that you talk about?
It's not a one framework. It's like understanding the options that you have. Okay, so maybe this will be more like when to use what sort of thing. Because if you're really brainstorming, I like to keep it very open because you would like the model to be creative, and maybe it will lie to you, okay? But out of 10 questions, you will probably get one which is, which you like really, really much, and then you can dive in. Now, when I'm saying to give a role, this is a technique that you are actually, you're not saying who you are, but basically you are prompting the model to be someone. Or if you want to get to, let's say, something in the training. So if I would like to write a LinkedIn post on this part, but to sound like Steve Jobs, I will tell it to be Steve Jobs, and I will get the flavor of this language. Okay, so basically I'm directing the model. But definitely a role, okay, what I call, let's say, a task, a command, what I want you to do, and then a very long context. And this context needs to be either a document that you are putting or just a reference that you are explaining, but something that will serve as the baseline. So even if you have an idea, okay, I'm constantly saying to people, if you have an idea, do not ask for 10 ideas to brainstorm. You already have an idea.
Right.
Let's build on this. Let's not use the open. Let's give the specific context of what I want, and maybe I'm stuck. So use AI to open this. Okay, so give the idea as your context and then try to brainstorm. So the more this will know, the better result you will get. Now, there are in some cases, okay, for I think most of them, they have a memory. It's still not a memory like I will have. So if I'm working with you, I'm pretty much familiar with everything. And if you are a Google user, they probably know more about you than you. Even than Gemini, okay?
Yes.
They are not pushing this context forward, but we are used to technology knowing us. This is the problem. This technology still doesn't know us. The memory is very small, it's sporadic. People need to know that it exists, how to pull or push things into this. And then once it knows that you are, the marketeer, the CEO, the sales, whatever, and you are basically, if I'm a sales and I'm a salesperson and now I want to write a LinkedIn post like Steve Jobs, the outcome will be much better, much faster.
Do you have a GPT for each of your roles that you have?
I have more than 200 GPTs just for my own without my clients, but it's because I'm enjoying to stretch the limits and check. GPTs is, by the way, the maybe it's for GPT, but you can also have this in Claude in projects, and Google has gems. Again, some of them are better, some less better, but yes, I do have like my, I'm also teaching in the academy. So I do have like an academy persona that is used for academic paper digestion, and my own business user, which are different, but also a lot of things that are streamlining my, my workflow. So I'm actually using this in order to keep all the context of, my business, what I'm doing, like all the content is there, and this is very valuable.
Yeah, when I saw your notebook LLM today, I don't know, you had probably like 200 different tiles there of different things. Each of them, I mean, how do you organize that? How do you keep track? Does each one know when you go into it? Does it each time it knows the context of you?
So actually, no, Notebook LLM, for the ones who are not familiar, this is a very good product from Google.
Yes.
That can actually create, originally, by the way, it was for academic research, but it's now exploded to a lot of different cases.
Yeah.
And you can actually use it for free. Basically, it's a notebook that you can push information, articles, YouTube videos, links, whatever. And you can get what they call a notebook guide, which basically helps you to either digest the content inside or to create like a podcast of the information, which is a lot of time very valuable for people that like to hear and not to read. You touched a very painful place with how to find things, because I don't think they realize that people like me are having hundreds, which is very hard to navigate. But this is, again, it's just out of beta. So they worked on it like for 2 years, and it's very young, and they are tweaking. So I believe this will come. It's Google, after all. I will be able to search and navigate this. But I'm trying to just put it like blocks of information, and to try to remember to put everything in the same place. But I think this is to have something on LLMs and something on HR and something on product management and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think this is a very good tool, even if you are not getting back to it. So basically, people who want to learn and to use something, they can just put one YouTube link inside and go and just understand what the content there tells you.
Yeah. What I worry about is that these interfaces start becoming messy, like our inbox.
Correct. And this is why, by the way, just recently, ChatGPT had published the search also for Claude. So I think it will need to be indexed somehow, because again, it's a conversational product, So the question is why you want to go back to this conversation, how frequent, how important it is, and how much it will move the needle for these companies, which I'm not sure it's moving. Maybe we are on to some startup idea here because
nobody tell.
Because this is again, because if I conversed with something, this is again related to memory.
Right.
So if it would have like the memory that I'm doing like this leadership with AI thing, and I already, spoke with it about it because I had this as a thought partner, and now I want to go back, and I had like 10 conversations like this, it should remember, and it should know how to direct me to this, and I believe the technology will be smart enough to do this.
And just one more question related to that. Like, you mentioned Claude, Gemini, Notebook LLM, ChatGPT. How do you pick the right model or the right interface for you?
So for me, I love them all.
Okay, well...
Actually, not all of them, but it's a secret. Okay. But I have them all.
You have a couple true loves?
Let's say I'm breaking down the usage per the model's ability, but I'm not the average user, okay? Right. And this is also my job.
Right.
So I think for the average one, and again, we need to split between people who are working with a tool that the company provided them, and between, I want to go into AI, I'm a leader, I want to go in. Now, all of these tools are free to start with, okay? Yes. So you can start and you can actually have like a few weeks to see how is it working for you. Why? Because if a lot of your job is repetitive, then you would probably want to build something like a project or GPT, and you need this functionality. If you're someone that likes to learn or grab a lot of content and do, analysis, then maybe Notebook LM will be enough. If you are basically someone that likes, the conversation in terms of like to personify this, then maybe you would like Google or even Pi AI, which is the emotional partner. Okay, it's not even something that you would probably do to speak very emotionally.
Is that if you want an AI friend, Pi AI?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the emotional AI.
Nice.
It's a very empathic. It's like a psychologist that speaks with you. It's more like on the personal level of, okay, I have this memory, let's say, keep this memory, let's speak about this memory. It's more like this. So it's really a matter of, for me, of the job to be done, or how many birds can you kill with one stone? So if you're someone, okay, so for example, I'm saying, okay, I want to do a data analysis. I want to streamline my workflow and to do like some sort of small automation with it. Then you are picking, something that can do this. Most of the people, again, this is the market. It's not me. Most of the people are going to ChatGPT directly, like, because this is the market leader for now. But I think this is something that everyone should try. Like I'm saying, try them all for like 5 days, then decide on one. You don't need 5.
Yeah.
Decide on one according to what you want to do with it.
Whew. So we covered a lot.
Yeah.
How do we summarize like everything that you've just mentioned? What are the key takeaways that you want people who are listening to this podcast to know about prompting?
It's not just about prompting. It's in general. I think it's where we are standing today with AI. I think each and every person should understand that this is an upskill that is a must today, in terms of especially professionals.
Yes.
I think that leaders should understand that prompting, it's not like a nice to have, okay? Because maybe you can take it like for 3-4 months more, but then you're starting to be late to this party. So this is something you must do now, and then even try to jump to this thought leadership along with AI as a thinking partner. It's not scary, okay? Like lose the zero and few short prompting. It's not scary. It's a language we need to learn. It's just like we are learning English.
Yes.
Okay. And I think the most important thing, I hear a lot of times, I'm afraid it's too technical. It's not. It's a conversational product. You just need to jump into the water. Okay. And if you don't want to jump, then dip a toe and just try it out and see. And then, take an expert, take an advisor, take a course, whatever fits you, because not every leader is working the same with it. Or even ask your colleague, or even sit with the team and hear what they are doing with it. Or, try to do like a really colleague sharing, whatever fits you, but just do it like in terms of get into this now. This is, I think, the most relevant, interesting, because later on, or in a couple of, let's say, months, 2 months, 3 months, you will need to be the one that is deciding on what AI tool to choose for the company or for your division, and you need to be in this literacy awareness and to start even to drive this adoption in the company itself.
So be that voice of change and
adopt.
And adopt, or don't adopt, right? It's kind of, it's like existential opportunity, not threat.
Yes, it's an opportunity.
And I think that there is so much that we have yet to know, right? And I think the pace of innovation that is happening right now is so fast that even some of the skills that we are learning today could become obsolete in 2 months from today.
Completely. But I think this is the challenge.
Yeah.
The challenge is to be able to adapt to this kind of changes, because if, for example, you would do like a business plan, like a vision 1 year from now, I think now the fact that we have AI in our lives just changed everything. So the strategy you once thought you have is not the same strategy now. Your competitors are using AI. They can open markets. They can make a lot of, different calls. They can actually embed AI in their teams. And you need to re-strategize yourself. And it will probably be in shorter, like it will be like by quarter or 2 quarters and not by a year, and everything will become shorter and maybe probably more, let's say, probable, available, optional. So yes, definitely. This is a new way of thinking and doing your work.
Galit, you've been involved in so many different areas of technology, from mobile in early days, product, now AI. This just something that is on my mind that actually I ask most people on this podcast is, what do you want your own legacy to be?
Oh, wow. Actually, I care about people learning, but learning responsibly. So I wouldn't want people to hand their brains to the machine. I think we have an amazing opportunity, from education to medicine to products. Like, this is all going to change, but I think we need to act very responsibly in our personal use, but also as a society, right? So to know where are the limits. And this is why I think the literacy is important, the critical thinking. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I do believe that we need to uncover as many blind spots as we can. So this is why I'm also, investing a lot of time in teaching this logic, because I believe technology can really improve our lives if we will do it responsibly and will be literate and smart about it.
Well, that's fascinating. Yeah, I mean, so many areas that and your knowledge is the breadth and the depth is fascinating to me. I think we could
Thank you.
We could talk about this for a much longer time. But I want to go into a quick fire round with you.
Let's go.
Are you down with that?
Let's see.
Let's see. So, what is your favorite app?
My favorite app, like
Yes.
a mobile app?
Mobile app.
Probably ChatGPT voice mode.
Voice mode. And do you talk to it?
All the time.
All the time.
When I'm standing in the car and like in a traffic jam, I'm reading books. So I'm talking about books.
Really?
Yeah, instead
and you're
of reading
discussing
them.
a book.
Yeah.
That brings me to my next question, actually. A must-read business book and why?
Actually, a business book.
Or it could be any book besides Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
So Thinking Fast and Slow, which is it's
Daniel
actually,
Kahneman, right?
Yeah, it's Daniel Kahneman. I think this is, for me, okay, this is a very good place to, understand how people think or make decisions. It's a hard book to read.
Very hard. And it's not advisable to audible it.
No, but you can actually prompt it and make a conversation that is very, very interesting around it. So if you don't like to read books, and if you Audible is indeed, I tried it. I tried it in Audible. It was very, very hard. But speaking with it, that's probably something that most of the audience didn't try yet. So
you might have to show me how to do that after this.
I will.
There's a famous person that you really want to take out to dinner. Who is that person?
Oh, wow. I would like to take Steve Jobs, actually, because I admire the way the products are designed in terms of human psychology and all the things that he built. But maybe I will take his, the biggest designer, instead, because...
these days you can probably have dinner with Steve Jobs.
Yeah, actually
right?
I can.
You can?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can actually probably do that tonight.
Yeah. It's a company that called the Character AI, and you can actually find, I think, Steve Jobs there.
Wow. So what is the more important innovation? Is it mobile or is it AI?
AI has been there before mobile, okay, like for 50 years. So I will probably say Gen AI, but I think AI eventually will be more important, because mobile allowed us to move away from technology in that sense that we can take all this technology in our pockets. But I think AI will streamline the world. So basically it will remove barriers like language. We will speak, to things. So I think eventually it will be bigger.
Do you have a favorite quote?
Start with the end in mind.
And we've reached the end.
Thank you.
This has been a beautiful session together. Thank you so much. I'm really fascinated with your knowledge, and this is definitely going to be something that I believe the audience will really resonate with. There's so much learning here, and I'm just very grateful for your time.
Thank you for the invite. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Galit.
Thanks.
And by the way, how does someone find you if they want to find you?
Oh, Galit Galperin on LinkedIn. You're more than welcome. Or my website.
All right. You heard that. Hit her up. And that's a wrap.
Thanks.
Thanks.